Opening up the debate this evening with Meghnad Desai, Aarti Jairath. Joining us, Ajoy Bose, Seshadri Chari and GVL Narasimha Rao in the studio. Opening up the debate with Jayanti Natarajan as well of the Congress Party. Jayanti Natarajan, all this hypocritical talk of realignment after losing the elections. You know, the fact is that today it's become an unipolar world. And at least for a while, even you will admit that all this realignment amounts to nothing. I mean, this talk of a secular bloc, secular parties having to come together, it hasn't worked. It has failed abysmally. Your party is in tatters. You are staring down a barrel. And isn't it more important for parties like the Congress Party to talk about changing your leadership at the top than to be even thinking about all secular parties coming together, which has become a refrain over the last few days? Ms. Jayanti Natarajan, I'd like to open up the debate with your views.
Well, that's not a double-barreled gun. That's machine gun fire, Arnab, from you. I thought with the elections that you would have actually become what is the word I should
calmer,
use?
calmer.
Maybe
calmer.
I should
Okay.
maybe calm. Maybe I should
Yes.
first congratulate you on your spectacular election coverage.
Thank you very
high
much.
octane.
Thank you.
But I just want to say straight away that I would like to wholeheartedly congratulate the new government, the new Prime Minister who's won, Mr. Modi, who's won a decisive mandate, and I hope that he fulfills all the aspirations of the people who voted for him and for those who didn't, just like he said. I don't agree with the way you framed this debate, Arnab, for this reason that there is, first of all, the Congress Party is not in tatters. We have been around a long time.
With 44 seats, you're not in tatters?
Arnab, we have been decisively, roundly, spectacularly defeated in this Lok Sabha. I agree. But tatters is not the word. You know, defeat, and you know the famous saying, the two imposters, triumph and defeat the two imposters.
I'm glad you're philosophical tonight, but this is time for straight political
it's not philosophical.
talk. No, let's not be philosophical, Ms. Natarajan.
Straight political
talk expected from a politician, please.
Is that we are not in tatters. We've won and lost many elections. In the last 10 years, we've won, the Congress has won 21 assembly elections, 2 terms. We've lost this term. We've lost this election. And there is no two ways that we need to seriously introspect. But tatters and to write our obituary.
Fine, ma'am, you and I can argue on the semantics of it. But that's not the point.
Right,
you and I can keep arguing tonight about the semantics of it this Sunday evening. My question is, on what right does the Congress Party have to even, think in terms of a secular realignment right now? There should be no thought about it.
The same right that the BJP, which started at, when I started as a member of parliament, had 2 MPs in parliament. And is now at this spectacular figure. Wait a minute.
No, there are 2 BJP representatives who want to take you on that. I thought I'll open it up. Okay, you finish your point.
No, but let me complete what I'm saying. When we've been defeated, when other parties have been defeated, to say that we want to come together to make a secular front is not opportunistic in any way at all. It's by no means steamrolling anybody who's won a spectacular victory. I think the politics of keeping our views afloat and keeping our parties, keeping our party's ideology alive is something very legitimate politically.
No, then admit it. It's not your ideology you're keeping alive. You're keeping your political interests alive.
It is ideology. We are not.
Where was this ideology 2 months back? Why were you all fighting elections separately? Why didn't you form one bloc like it was formed against the Congress Party by the BLD in 1977?
Secular ideology is one aspect. Perhaps we were not fighting elections because we couldn't agree on seats. Perhaps we were not fighting elections together because we wanted to see our own strength like we did in Tamil Nadu. See what has happened in this state. You're talking about Bihar. See what has happened in my state. the party that Mr. Modi led to spectacular victory is nowhere in Tamil Nadu. It's Jayalalitha all the way.
No, but so
it's not a question.
Okay, now let me just tell you one thing, ma'am. I just want to put a sense of perspective on this. The idea of representing a country comes in when you have some kind of a vote share behind you. In 1957, independent candidates in India had 19% of the vote. Today, the Congress party has 19% of the vote. And yet you say tonight, Jayanti Natarajan, that coming together as a secular bloc, there is nothing wrong with the idea. I'm opening up the debate. There are two BJP representatives. I promise to give you equal time. And opening up the debate from the BJP side is GVL Narasimha Rao, and then I'm coming to you, Mr. Chari. Mr. Rao.
It is the very same cynical secular bogey which has been roundly defeated in this election. It's not that secularism was not being brought up as a major campaign issue by the Congress. In fact, that was the only point on which they fought this election. They never talked about...
But they fought separately. Now they're saying we're going to come together and take you on.
But that's not going to make any difference. And if Nitish Kumar...
Nitish and Lalu are talking.
Nitish Kumar, who always had condescending attitude towards Lalu Prasad Yadav, is today working the hotlines to somehow put up a fight against the BJP.
Is he doing something illegitimate?
No, I think he has fallen in his own eyes. Nitish Kumar must be looking at himself as a man who has wronged himself. How can he go back to Lalu Prasad Yadav, whom he has been criticizing all this while?
Now, Jayanti Natarajan, I heard you, so I'll take two at a time, and then I'm going to come back to you. But Ajay Bose opening up this.
I don't know about ideology, but are we trying to suspend democracy here? Are we trying to say that no political party has the right to get together for its own survival and fight back?
Exactly.
What are we trying to say? What are we trying to say?
Exactly.
In 84, please go back to 84. Rajiv Gandhi and the Congress won this brute 400 plus majority. Even Atal Bihari Vajpayee got knocked out of parliament. What did the opposition do? It was, in the beginning, it was totally stunned. Then it tried to get together. Then it tried to rally together. People who did never talk to each other. And finally, Mr. Devi Lal cobbled together Janata Dal. This happens in politics. When a big enemy comes, a lot of people who were quarreling before get together to
and
face
the big
a common
enemy today is the big enemy.
Big enemy is the BJP and Mr. Modi, who's larger than life. And please, Arnab,
but the elections are over.
Go back 30 years
ago. The BJP response has been that this is an attempt to deceive the people.
But this is very legitimate politics. I don't know about all this secular or non-secular, all this, but this is political survival.
One minute.
I think this whole secular bogey, really needs to now be killed. I think that this secular versus communal, sort of thing, debate that the Congress and other parties keep trying to raise, that has been roundly defeated, settled in these elections. You look at the UP results. If even the Muslims were not scared by that debate, otherwise there would have been a consolidation and anti-BJP vote. But it didn't happen. The Muslim vote scattered. I mean, clearly, this fear politics that Congress and Samajwadi Party and BSP were trying to do with Muslims did not work with the Muslim community.
No, so why
if you want to form an anti-Modi front, I think that's perfectly legitimate. But they have to come up with a different issue.
You see this happening now, this
anti-Modi front. Yes, and they have to come up with a different issue.
You see this anti-Modi front coming up?
Yes, I think they will. I think they will, because Modi is very big, he's very strong. For their own survival, they have to get together. There has to be some kind of realignment. But I'm afraid they will have to find some other issue. Secular is not the issue.
Okay, I'm going to go to Seshadri Chari next. Jayanti Natarajan, I'm coming to you with just one pointer. At this point of time, some would argue if the Congress party wants to survive, and my word is survive, then it must say that we want to create a survival front, not a secular front. And then say this survival front is the non-BJP front. Drop the argument of secularism and say we'll form a survival front, because when you have been reduced to a meager, and I don't want to rub it in, 7 seats out of 251 in the Hindi heartland. Today, the Congress party has 7 seats out of 251 in the Hindi heartland. You must be honest, Mr. Natarajan. You want to survive. It's a survival
Arnab,
front.
The question, no, first of all, there's nothing wrong with wanting to survive. That's a different
No,
issue.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm saying more candor about it.
Arnab, please let me just complete. Please let me just complete. So many, I think it was Aarti, before that Mr. Narasimhan, I don't know who else spoke, but the fact
Seshadri
is,
Chari will come in after you.
Mr. Modi, I reiterate, has won fair and square. That doesn't mean the idea of secularism is over. Perhaps minorities did not vote for us. So many people did not vote for us. Our views did not carry conviction. His message carried conviction. Well done for him. We have to, but that doesn't mean that secularism is a dirty word or that it has been defeated.
I didn't say it's a
or that
dirty
people
word.
don't want it.
I'm saying, is
So
it an
please
appropriate
don't
word?
trivialize secularism.
No, I'm saying, is it an appropriate word? You call it a survival front.
What it means, Arnab, what it means is that people want, at least we stand, as the Congress Party president said, by our core values, and we will continue to stand by it. People want, therefore, further development. They want something more aspirational. They want something what my party was not able to give them. And there we failed. And now we have to see where we failed and how we failed. But please let's be smug, pat ourselves on the back and say, oh, secularism is over, because that goes against the idea of India.
I am only asking, Ms. Natarajan, whether you must consider that the people of this country will ask you today whether you have a right to be asking that question after the drubbing that you have got.
Please let the BJP not, Mr. Narasimhan mentioned, please let the BJP not talk about this, because if you remember, the VP Singh's government was supported by the communists on one side and the BJP on the other. It was the most bizarre, support given by two diametrically opposite people. So in politics, these things have happened before. Right now, if these parties extend a hand of support and call it, yes, we are supporting you because you're a secular party.
But Miss Natarajan, may I once again just humbly reassert to you that the issue is about whether you call it a secular front or a survival front. Before Seshadri Chari comes in, I want our viewers to look at this particular quote of Sharad Yadav. Now, Sharad Yadav has been with all possible alliances. And Sharad Yadav is so utterly sanctimonious that he genuinely believes that trying to come together will be linked to the nation's progress. So this is what Sharad Yadav says. This is one of the most spectacular quotes of the day. He said secular government will be formed. I don't know what his mathematics are. All differences will have no relevance. I had actually heard, and the buzz is the man most desperate to be part of the BJP and the man who actually opposed the JDU-BJP breakup is Mr. Sharad Yadav, and now he rings that secular language because it suits him. What Mr. Sharad Yadav wants is a place in parliament and possibly a ministry, which he feels he will not get, that he's not with the JDU. But look at what he says. He says all differences will have no relevance when it comes to the country's progress. Country's progress? That's the question. You're linking it to the country's progress. Why don't politicians like Sharad Yadav say, we want to survive, we want a position, we want a ministry, we want a stake, but to argue on the basis of the country's progress is farcical. May I, before I come to you, let Seshadri Chari take on Jayanti Natarajan, because he's been waiting his turn to do so, and after that, Meghnad Desai, I'm coming right across to you. Seshadri Chari, please.
Before, taking on and all that is a very strong word you have used, sir, now.
Respond.
I must really, one very good fallout of this election has been that Madam Jayanti Natarajan, who was out of the TV circuit for a long time because she became a minister, is now back in the TV rooms for our discussion. I welcome her, and I hope...
She's actually smiling back.
I hope she has a very large role to play in her own state. I hope the Congress party allows her to do that. But now coming to the point that she mentioned, she is very right when she says that every party has a right to exist, cobble up some sort of a platform, and then be relevant in the parliament.
Right.
But what is more important here is the basis on which these parties are wanting to come together. It would be very good if they look at the figures. the BJP has 31% votes.
Okay, I'll put that up
And
outside.
All other parties except the Congress, if you remove the BJP and the Congress, the rest of the parties all come up to 49%.
Okay, I'll put up some of these graphics
Now-
on the big screen behind for our viewers.
Now to say that out of 85% of the Hindu population in this country, all those who have voted for BJP are all Hindutva fundamentalist communal elements, and the rest of the 15% are all secular. And if you think that the Congress represents the 19.3% of the vote that the Congress has got is for secularism, but that was not the issue with which you went to the people in the first place, number one. Number two, even if you are wanting to cobble up a kind of...
Okay,
even if you are trying to cobble up a kind of...
by the way, this is the vote.
Can you really withstand that kind of a situation?
Okay. So the vote share figures that you are talking about are like this. Jayanti Natarajan, on the basis of vote share, an argument thrown back at you by Seshadri Chari. 31, 1.9, 0.7, 2.5, 0.3, 0.4. NDA gets 38.1%. They claim that on the basis of this percentage vote share, your argument for an alternative front itself does not hold. Ms. Natarajan, your quick response to Seshadri Chari. Ms. Natarajan, you can respond to him now.
You're not going to believe this or no, but I actually agree with Mr. Chari. I mean, clearly a lot more people voted for them than we expected would.
Yes.
And I've said from the beginning that the secular idea was, as he said, as Mr. Chari said, was not the only idea that we talked about. It was one of our core ideas, but we did and probably did not take it properly to the people. The issue of whatever achievements and development that we had made during the 10 years of the UPA regime. I also want to say at this point that the working committee of my party is going to meet tomorrow, and stock taking is yet to take place at the highest level of the leadership. So it's far too early to say that we are cobbling up anything, nor am I authorized to say any such thing. I'm only talking here on the limited basis of what is happening in Bihar.
But the broader point, do you concede?
What are we cobbling up? What are we not cobbling up?
Do you concede the broader point that such a group in a post-election, post-result situation lacks any legitimacy among the people, Mr. Chari?
The most important element here is nobody...
I totally agree that there is a legitimacy which the mandate has shown. How can anybody deny it? How can anybody deny it? It's up to
No, Jayanti, please. I don't really want to limit this entire argument only on the basis of some parties coming together. Actually, Congress is just being drawn into this. I am prepared to believe what is happening is the whole thing has been started by the JDU, by Nitish Kumar, who wanted to save probably his own face and his own government, and he resigned. And I don't understand why the Congress is being pulled into this. Congress and BJP
don't want the Congress into this.
I am nobody to say that the Congress should not jump into this. But even if the Congress wants to jump into this, let the Congress say that we need a forum in Parliament to keep a check on the government. We can agree. We can also say that whether the path of progress that you take up is correct or not. If you go wrong in that path, we will come and stop it. But I think this is for the first time that Congress party has an opportunity to work with the government on a purely quote-unquote secular issue. Progress, democracy, development, these are all not communal issues. We are not talking of democracy only for the Hindu population in this country.
We'll join Gaurav Bhatia now into this.
You have to come and face the situation.